Okay, Juliana. Juliana, can you hear me?
Yes, teacher, I can hear you. How are you today, teacher?
Great. What about you? How are you doing
Uh,
today?
I am in my house right now and I want to sleep. I'm so tired. And you?
Hey, I am at home. Today I'm working at home,
Mhm.
but I don't want to sleep right now as you. Okay, as I said, I'm going this web as all of the webs we are going to have are going to be recorded because I'm going to share the links with all the students from this level. So I'm going to start recording and I'm going to share my screen right now. This one, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, I have a PowerPoint presentation as usual. We are here because you are students of English C1. So I suppose you have a high level, a high English level. That's right. Laura says, okay, of course. What about you, Juliana? How do you, how is your English? How is your English level? What do you think? What do you think about it?
I think it's high, but I want to improve it.
Okay, okay, that's right. Okay, so are you new students at the university? I do not.
No, teacher. In my case, I have been in UNAD studying B2 Advanced.
Okay, you studied last year B2 Advanced.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, and what about you, Juliana?
Me too. Actually, the last B2 level, I take class with with Laura. I think I take it that class with Laura in B2.
Okay, so you are not a new student. You know how the English courses, the English online courses are. So
Yeah.
I'm going to remember some important things in order to take into account. For example, we at the University at UNAT, we have 6 levels, starting from A1, then A2, B1, B1 plus, B2, and C1. No? Here at the University, C1 is the highest level. No? That C1 is the highest level, but taking into account the Common European Framework, there is another higher level, no? C2. But C2, C2 is for native people, no? Maybe native people can have a C2 because it's very, very difficult. There are many people who are native who live in the United States or an European country and have always spoken English, but sometimes they can get a C2 level, no? Because it's very, very difficult. It's not only to speak the language, it's not only to speak the language, you have to study the language and most things, many things about the language, no? Many things about the language because for example, when you present an international exam like TOEFL, first certificate, you have to be a good reading comprehension. Okay, you have to be a very good level comprehension, and everybody doesn't have that skill. No? So that's why some people who all their life have spoken English, they can't get a C2 level. So this is the last level here at the university. And in this English course, as in B2, the previous one, you are going to present 6 activities. You are going to take 6 activities. All of them you can find here in the schedule, on the agenda del curso, or you can find in the English course, no? In the communicative skill assessment environment, there are 6 activities, each one. For example, the first one, task 1, diagnostic test, is 25 points, 25 points. Laura, did you present the first activity, the diagnostic test?
Yes, teacher, I already presented it.
What was your score?
My score was like 90. Let me check.
19? Oh my God, Juliana had some trouble, some technical troubles, and she is disconnected right now. Okay, Juliana. But did you already presented the diagnostic test? Yes, Laura?
Yeah, I already presented it, and I had a 90 score,
Okay.
almost 100.
Okay. And now we have available the second task, no? Listening test. Remember that task 2, 3, 4, and 5, all these activities, all these tasks, trying to or aims to evaluate your communicative skills, no? Your communicative skills. That's why task number 2 is listening. You are going to be evaluated in your listening ability. Task 3 is speaking, no? Task 4, reading, and task 5, writing, no? All of these abilities skills are the communicative skills, which are very important to develop in order to handle a language like English. And these activities are organized based on how we learn or how we acquire a language, no? How we learn or how we acquire a language. The first thing we do in order to learn or to acquire a language is listening. The baby is listening all the time. After too much time, he starts speaking a little. Then he starts reading, and finally, the child starts writing. So that's why you can find 4 activities related to each one of the communicative skills. And finally, we have the exam. There is an exam, which is 125 points. 125 points. So those are the 6 activities you are going to present along the course. You have already presented or taken the first one, task 1, diagnostic test, and now you can take the task 2, listening test. Okay, let's continue. These activities are the same you can find here, no? And the scores, no? Diagnostic test, 25 points. Listening test, 85 points. Speaking practice, 90 points. Reading test, 85 points. Writing forum, 90 points. And final exam, 125 points. If you can sum up all these scores, you are going to get 500 points, no? 500 points, and you need 300 points in order to pass this English course, okay? It's very important to take into account this one. Okay, and here we have 3 important information. The first one, if you have any trouble related to administrative things, not with the English course, you have this mail, unat.english@unat.edu.co, in order to write in order to ask for information or in order to ask for a certificate or whatever you need. No? Remember that in English, you don't say period or point when you have to say the email. You say dot. This is a dot. This is a dot. And this is at, no, in English. So unat.english@unat.edu.co. And besides, you have the internal mail if you want to write to me, if you need anything about the course, the online course, you can use the internal mail. Besides, it's important to study the ebook. You have to study the ebook, no? It's very important because there you are going to find all the information, all the topics from this course, okay? So it's very important to study the ebook, to take your time to study each one of the topics, to do the exercises, no? To do the exercises, because when you are going to learn a language, it's very important to practice. That's quite important to practice. So you have to do many exercises. Exercises not only writing, no, you are going to listen to some audios, you are going to watch some videos, you are going to read some text, because everything is very important when you are going to learn a language. And if you have time, you can do many things. For example, Laura, what do you usually do in order to study English, in order to practice your English in your regular or your normal life, Laura?
Well, teacher, I usually watch movies and series in English, and I also follow many channels in English. Sometimes they don't have subtitles, so I have to practice my listening a lot. Also, sometimes I write things in English, like some dialogues, and for some time I used application called Poly AI that helped me to practice chats in English.
Okay, when you watch a film or a movie, Laura, the subtitles are in English or in Spanish?
The subtitles I usually put them in English if they are the same that the person is talking, because sometimes the subtitles say something quite different than the audio says. So if I see that is very obvious, I usually turn the subtitles off, because it takes a point when it becomes quite annoying.
Okay, that's right. That's totally right. When you translate from English to Spanish, or vice versa, from Spanish to English, there is not only one correct or appropriate translation, no? There is not a literal translation, no? Maybe the people in a film or in a series, in a movie, is saying something, but the translation is quite different, no? It's quite different. Because when you are translating something, you can use a synonym, for example. You can say empezar or iniciar, no? It's completely right, both of them. But yes, you say that when the people are talking in a movie, in a series, and the translation is quite different sometimes. No? Sometimes you can listen to the person and looking at the subtitles, and it's the same. But sometimes it doesn't happen. Okay, so it's very important to watch videos, to watch movies. Everybody has Netflix at home, so you can watch all the series, all the movies in English. In English, that's very important. Music, if you like music, you have to listen to English music. Maybe at first you are going to use the subtitles, but when the time goes by, you have to start listening to the songs in English with no subtitles, no? No
Yes,
subtitles.
teacher. And also, I love English music. I love how the people sing in English. I barely listen to songs in Spanish. And also, there are some channels that I say, well, I can use it as a background while I do something else, and I only listen to them without any subtitles sometimes because I don't need them, other times because they don't have.
Yes, yes. What about you, Juliana? How or what do you usually do in order to practice your English?
Well, I do some things sometimes, like Laura, but I try to read books in English. I love to read, so I try to read a lot of types of books. For example, science books, history books, 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 and try to read it in loud. And every Sunday, I try to go to some friend to the house, of some friends, and there these friends speak English, so it makes me learn listening without subtitles because I am so addicted to subtitles, so I try to practice without them.
Yes, because when we have the subtitles, maybe we don't pay too much attention to the speaking. We try to read, and that's not the idea, no? You have to listen
Yeah.
to the audio and read the subtitles at the same time. But sometimes we tend to only read the subtitles and not pay too much attention to the listen. So it's better only to listen to the movies or the series in English with no subtitles. I
Yeah,
think
I
it's better.
tried. And I think YouTube have a lot of channels with a lot of information, like I don't know, history. I love history, so I try to see documentals without subtitles. Subtitles only see the movie, but it's so difficult.
Okay, yes. And another thing that's very important is that you can or you have the opportunity to listen to or to watch different channels, different movies, different series related to the accent, no? To the American accent. Sometimes we can watch a film where British English is used, and sometimes you can watch a film where American accent is used. No, it's important to know the difference between the accents. No, between the accents, because for us as Colombian people, we can understand better or easily the American English. But when we listen to the British English, it's much more difficult. No, it's much more difficult. We have to listen to many times in order to understand what the British person is saying, because their accent is a little harder, no, than the American accent. But we have to use both accents. Both accents. We have to understand. We have to read British readings or American readings, because we have to understand almost every type of accent. There are too many accents, no? There are too many accents. For example, New Zealand. People from New Zealand, they speak English in a way. Australian people, they speak English in a different way. They have different words. They have different accents. They have different pronunciation. No, you know that the typical difference between water and water. No, when you when you listen to British people, they say water, no? When you listen to American people, they say water, no? It's the same word, but the pronunciation is completely different. And we have to learn how they pronounce, and we have to learn to understand both of them. Okay, Laura, you raise your hand.
I find kind of funny the British accent because, well, since I was a little, I was taught it was the American accent of English. So I find it quite funny the way they pronounce the words because sometimes it can even be confused with some words in American English that in British English is pronounced other way. So, for example, there was some trend about the Mufasa movie that Disney released in December that is like they made the most British child sing that song that I always wanted a brother, and I find it quite funny.
Yes, it's very different, the pronunciation. The British accent is very different from the American, no? The pronunciation is completely different. Because like I said, you are not going to listen to the word water, water, no? That end in er, the words which ends in er, they pronounce like an ¿no? Ni siquiera pronuncian esa R final, sino es como una ¿no? Es algo así. Yeah, and there are too many words which are very different, but it's important to try to understand, to try to watch American and British movies, British series. Okay, I'm going to introduce myself. I'm going to tell you something about me, okay? This is me. My name is Jorge Hernandez. Oh my gosh. Okay, Laura, sorry, but I had a technical problem with my computer, with my laptop. But I am here again. Okay, let me see. If Okay. Wait a minute, I'm going to looking for my PowerPoint presentation again. Because my computer was run out battery. Okay, so I was going to introduce myself. This is me. My name is Jorge Hernandez. I was born in Bogota, but I have lived all my life in Ibagué. Okay, I have lived all my life in Ibagué. I am an English and Spanish teacher. I studied at the University of Tolima here in Ibagué. I am 49 years old. 49 years old. As I was talking about the difference between American and British accent. For example, when you pronounce the numbers, they pronounce very different, no? For example, in American English, you can say 49, 49, 49. In British English, you say 49, no? 49, no? That's another difference. Yeah, I am married. I have 2 children. Their names are Joshua David and Liam Jacob. The oldest is Joshua David. He is 19 years old. And the youngest, Liam Jacob, he is 3 years old. I like playing soccer a lot and watching series and movies, especially action and comedies. Yeah, I like languages a lot, so that I have studied English. After that, I took a French course. Right now, I am trying to learn something about Portuguese and Italian by myself, by my own. I'm watching some videos on YouTube. I enjoying some practices in Portuguese and Italian, but it's a little complicated. Not like studying English, like learning English, because Portuguese and Italian belong to the same family that Spanish. So there are too many words, there are too many expressions. The pronunciation is easier. It's easier, no? The pronunciation is easier. So I think it's a challenge I have to learn Portuguese and Italian by myself, my own. Okay, now I want to know something about you. What you can share about you. First, let me see. Laura, what can you tell me about you?
Well, teacher. Well, my name is Lara Camila Herrera Blanco. I study virtually in the Colegio Oceane, and I like painting.
Okay, you study online?
Yeah, I study online
Where do you study?
in the Colegio Oceane.
Okay. Where do you live, Laura?
I live in Tunja, Huachaca.
And why are you studying online?
Well, I like studying online. It's not like in Tunja there aren't any good schools, although I didn't like most of them. But I love studying online. I have been studying in that school since I was in second grade. So I have been studying lots of years there, and I'm not planning to get out of there. I'm not.
What grade are you now?
I am in 8th grade.
8th grade. And are you going to study until 11th grade? Online.
Yes. And then I'm going to keep studying online, but then in the internet.
Okay. Do you have any relative at UNAT?
Yeah, I have my mother that is studying in the net too, She has been studying there some years ago.
Okay, but she is a student. She's not a teacher. She's not a
No,
tutor.
she's a student. She's studying.
Okay, what does she study? What program,
She's
what career?
studying mastery
Okay.
in project currency.
Okay. How old are you, Laura?
I am 13 years old.
13 years old. And your English level is quite good. Why? Why do you speak English?
Because, well, my brother also studied English. So he, well, gave me some English songs. I like the language. Also, my mother made me study Duolingo. And then I entered the net because I need to certificate somehow. And maybe homologate some of the English courses that I have to do.
Have you taken any international exam?
No, I haven't taken an international exam.
Okay, but when I ask you if you have you had any English courses before?
I also study Open English.
Open English.
Like kids, yeah. I studied
Uh,
like for a year, but I didn't finish the course because I didn't like it quite much.
okay. Okay. So you study English for yourself, by your own. Yes?
I can say pretty yes because I practice most of the time alone. There in my house, I am the only one that has in English level that is quite high, may I say. My father understood English a bit, and he's like B1 when he wants to take a test. My mother, she's also studying the lingo, but I sometimes make her lessons because she forgets.
Okay. And your brother, is your brother younger or sister? Or younger?
He's my older brother. He's like 14 years older than me. He's already married, and he lives in another house.
Okay. And do you have any sisters?
No,
No.
I don't have any sisters. I only have my brother.
Okay.
And I was raised like the only child because my brother went outside to find his own house when I was in first grade. So I was practically raised as the only child.
Okay. Yes, because the difference is big. There
Yeah.
is a big gap between you and your brother. Okay. And do you practice any sport?
No,
No.
teacher. I
Sport?
don't practice any sports. I hate the sports.
Hate sports? Okay. And what do you usually do in your free time? I'm not
Well,
going to
my
say
free
what do
time,
you do at home because you are at home all day, I suppose.
yeah, I'm at home all day. And I usually listen to music or draw some silly drawings. I also watch videos and web series. I like analog horror. I don't know why, but I like it. I also like the ARG that internet has, some of those mysteries that people have to get in to continue the story. And I also like to watch channels about other things like that talk about my legs.
Okay. I quite interesting. Do you think that online courses are easier than face-to-face?
I can say yes, because for me, it's easier to socialize with people when I am online, like in a video call or a video meeting like this, than in person, because sometimes I feel like in person is more difficult to talk for me, especially when it's someone new. Also, I think that studying online is easier by the fact that you have all the information you need in the internet. So, for example, oh, I don't understand that question. I can search in Google. I can watch some videos about it and understand it better before the class.
Okay, so I suppose you don't have too many friends.
No, I have one friend, and well, she is my bestie. I love that girl. She's my same age, but she's shorter than me. I know it because she say once her height. And we are connected almost all day since the classes start. We take a break when it's lunchtime, and then we connect again until 6, 7. Once in vacation, we ended up being connected at 9 p.m.
Okay, so you like to be on social webs like social nets or like Facebook, Instagram. Do you have
I
those
have
type?
Facebook, but I barely use it. I like especially YouTube and Pinterest. Pinterest is my best friend in the internet. Like, I love that website because I love watching the drawings that others made, like, to inspire myself.
Okay, when you watch YouTube, what do you watch?
Well, like I say, I usually watch analog horror series, R ARG videos because, well, I'm too lazy and I don't know how to solve the problems that those things have. So, well, I watch those. I also watch videos about video games, not gameplays itself, but like video games like Curious Things, Minecraft, and Cookie Run Kingdom.
Okay, those are strategy games. Minecraft or the other one, strategy games.
Well, I tried Minecraft like for 3 days, but I had to uninstall it because my computer almost exploded back then. I don't know why Minecraft is such a heavy game. My mother bought it for me when it was its 15th anniversary, so it was half price. And well, I installed it, I tried it, I love it. I miss it. And then I tried it in a laptop that my mom bought. It was new and it gave me the blue screen. And since then I haven't tried anymore. And Cookie Run Kingdom, I also want to try it, but since it's way heavier than Minecraft for some reason, I I don't want to waste any of my
Okay, I was asking you, but I don't know anything about those video games.
Well, Minecraft is like a blocky game made of pixels that is three-dimensional, where you can buy but not buy, you can
Yeah.
build anything you want. It has many blocks, it has animals, and it has monsters. You can have so many experience. And Cookie Run Kingdom is like some gacha game where you pay the money that the game has, and you buy some silly characters, like collecting them. It is based on those Japan machines that give you toys.
Okay. Okay, thanks, Laura, for sharing some information about you. Now, Juliana, what can you tell us about you?
Oh my goodness, I was so happy to hear Laura. Well, I am Juliana Poveda. I am 21, 21 years old. I live here in Bogota. I live with my parents and my sister. I like the animals. I have three pets. I have two cats and one dog. These animals are my life. And I study English, but I want to study other languages like Italian, Portuguese, Japanese, but in another moment. And I am a teacher of English, but only the A A1 and A2 because the other levels I need to know more and more to be a good teacher of these levels.
Where do you
And
teach, Juliana?
ah,
Where do you teach?
I teach in a foundation. Did you ask me where I teach, right?
Yes,
Where do I
yes.
teach?
Where did you teach?
Sorry.
Where do you teach? In a high school, in a school, in a, I
No,
don't
it's a foundation of a lot of things. For example, there is a course of help children to do his homeworks or to be a teacher, or it's a foundation of a lot of things.
know. Okay. Okay, continue.
Okay, I don't know how I can say anymore. I like the video games too, but I don't have any time to uh, play right now. And I like to read. I like to doing sports. I like all the sports without a ball. I hate the balls. All the balls hit me in my face. So I like to swim, watch swim because I am learning that right now. I like to artistic gymnastic. I did that the last year, but right now I can't do it that anymore because I don't have the time. Uh,
Juliana, are you studying something else or anything else apart from English?
Sorry, can you repeat me
Are
that,
you are
please?
you studying anything else?
Ah, okay, no, right now no, but I want it because but I don't have the time. So I want, but I know that is too much for me because I study, I work, and I have to do a lot of things in my house. So I need to organize my schedule.
Juliana, did you study a career? When
I
you
study
finish high school, did you study a career, a program?
I study technical by to be a auxiliary in a kindergarten.
So you
So
wanna be a teacher?
yeah, I am a teacher for children, and right now I'm teaching to, and right now in this moment, in a few minutes, I have to
Lesson.
teaching to a yeah to a children because I only teach for children at 12 years old. De ahí para abajo, no sé cómo decir esa parte.
Okay, what are you going to teach? English? Or do you
Yeah,
teach anything else?
English, but I
English.
can teach math. And
Mathematics.
the
Okay, math.
last year, yeah, the last year I helped to a girl to his math class. I like a lot of this class and philosophy and Spanish. Actually, I want to teach Spanish to some people foreign of these countries. But I need
Uh,
to improve my English to teach the class in English and teach Spanish.
but do you work face to face? Do you have
No,
face-to-face lessons or
so
online?
so is online, but also is presential, is face to face, because I have three groups, two online and one face to face.
Okay, what is the name of the foundation where you work?
The foundation is FEPDIS.
This is a
Yeah,
national or international foundation?
national, but we work with international persons,
Okay,
people. Sorry, people.
okay. You can say, or that you can say person or people, but we have to understand that there are some words or some expressions that we can use and people can understand us, but
Mhm.
there is some words or some expressions that are the most common or the most usual, ¿no? En el
Ujú.
inglés encontramos que o sea, podemos utilizar ciertas palabras o expresiones y nos hacemos entender. Ahí se cumple el objetivo de comunicarnos, ¿no? Pero con el pasar del tiempo, nosotros tenemos que empezar a aprender esas palabras, expresiones que son usualmente utilizadas, ¿no? Que son las que más se usan, las más correctas, las más acordes, ¿no? Por ejemplo, for example, you can say, I work in the house. I work in the house. That's correct. A person who is listening to you is going to understand what you are saying, but the most appropriate or the correct form of saying that is at home. We don't say in the house, we say at home, ¿no? Podemos decir in the house y nos van a entender, pero entonces la forma más adecuada, más correcta no es decir in the house, sino at home, ¿no? Y así vamos a empezar, tenemos que empezar porque usted ya está en un nivel C1, tienen que empezar a conocer esas palabras, esas expresiones, esas estructuras de la forma adecuada, de la forma más usual y más correcta que se utiliza, ¿no? That's very important for you. That's very important for you. It's quite important for you. Okay? For example, les decía el ejemplo de in the house y así hay muchos más. For example, you have to learn how to use the prepositions. In English, it's very, very, very important to use the prepositions appropriately. Muy importante utilizar las preposiciones de la forma adecuada, ¿no? Y eso sí lo tenemos que estudiar y eso no lo aprendemos prácticamente de memoria, by heart. For
Ujú.
example, I'm saying by heart. Es una expresión del inglés, by heart. When we say by heart, it means de memoria, ¿no? Ese tipo de expresiones también no las aprendemos de memoria y tenemos que empezar a integrarlas dentro de nuestro lenguaje, dentro de nuestro idioma, porque nosotros no podemos tratar de decir, bueno, yo voy a decir de memoria, of memory, or from memory. No, that's not correct. We have to say by heart. By heart means de memoria. Y así con las preposiciones y muchas otras cositas que ya tenemos que empezar a utilizar adecuadamente, a saber que nos hacemos entender, correcto. Pero pues para un nivel A1, A2, podemos decir las cosas y hacernos entender y cumplimos el objetivo de comunicarnos. Pero ya tenemos que empezar a utilizar adecuadamente esas preposiciones, a mejorar en cuanto a la pronunciación, ¿no? En cuanto a la pronunciación. Laura has a great pronunciation. Her fluency is great. La fluidez de Laura es muy buena y eso es lo que tenemos que intentar nosotros hacer, mejorar esa fluidez, ¿no? Tratar de no estar hablando porque así arrancamos, ¿no? De la 1 arrancamos así palabra por palabra. Ya a estas alturas no podemos hacer eso. Entonces tenemos que tratar de mejorar mucho nuestra fluidez, ampliar, widen our vocabulary. Tenemos que ampliar nuestro vocabulario, ¿no? Podemos decir siempre, utilizar siempre las mismas palabras. Entonces tenemos que empezar a estudiar, a conocer más palabras. It's quite important to know more words, more synonyms, ¿no? Conocer más palabras, que no siempre para decir que algo nos gusta, o sea, la forma de decir es I like, that's the traditional one. I like burgers, I like hot dogs, I like pizza, yes. But there are other ways to express that. Hay otras formas de expresaros de eso, y entonces tenemos que empezar a ampliar ese vocabulario, utilizar nuevas palabras. Por ejemplo, ya no vamos a decir I like burgers, I'm fond of burgers, I'm fond of burgers. ¿Sí? Entonces tenemos que empezar a utilizar otras expresiones. Thanks, Juliana, for sharing some information with us about you and what you usually do in your daily life. Laura, I have a question for you. You studied and you have a very good English level, but do you study another, or do you want to study another language?
Well, teacher, I tried studying Italian. I I didn't make it because, well, I was focusing in my English level because most of the jobs in these days ask for a good English level. So as time went on, I just forgot about Italian. It's like Duolingo telling me, "Hey, you forgot to do your Italian lesson," and I just don't care.
What's your opinion about Duolingo?
Well, the app itself, I like it. It is very interactive. It has competitions where you have to make experience points in different lessons to get into the first places or stay in the highest place. And well, there are so many kind of lessons. There's some books and small stories. And there was a time where there were video games, small games inside the app. We have listening lessons, the normal lessons. If you pay, you have access to talking lessons and listening lessons alone, only talking and only listening. And it has some lessons about letters. And it has some challenges where you have to make some tasks inside the game, inside the app, to win a medal at the end of the month. And I actually kind of have a calendar inside my Duolingo is a calendar of those medals.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
so
and in the channel, I like the way they make the marketing of the app because it's not like that boring business that say, "Hey, do you want to learn that, then come to our app." No, it literally, I don't know. Have you seen the Duolingo channel lately? It almost
no,
killed its pet. Just two more lessons and more
no. I
installs in the app.
I can't say anything about Duolingo because I don't know the app. I don't know how they work. But I have heard that too many people have the app in their mobile phones, no? In their mobile phones they have their app, but I don't know how they work or how they do it. But today or nowadays there are too many apps like this. There is another one which is Memrise, where you can learn a language. But you have to take into account that to learn, Juliana and Laura, to learn a language, any language, English, Spanish, French, it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and we have to face that challenge. But we need to take too many time. We have to take we have to take too much time in order to study because we have to spend hours and hours and hours studying the English or studying the language. Okay. When I say study the language, it's not only reading a book, reading the grammar, no. Exposing to the language, watching a video, watching a film, listening to a music. That's what we have to do, but we have to do it every day. We have to take time every day in order to study a language. So it depends on me, on each one of us. Maybe the tutor is going to explain some topics. You have the opportunity to learn some things, but the most important person when you are going to learn language is you. You are the most important person. You have to take time. You have to spend too much time doing exercises, learning new vocabulary, learning new expressions, learning slangs, no? Or for idiomatic expressions, ¿no? Hay muchos canales en YouTube, TikTok, que están enseñando ahora, son videos corticos, 30, 40 segundos o menos, donde les dicen una serie de frases que se las, con su significado, ¿no? Eso es un ejercicio bueno, porque ustedes están aprendiendo ese tipo de frases y son frases que se utilizan en la vida cotidiana, ¿no? How do we say, como les decía ahorita, aprender de memoria, aprender algo de memoria? Entonces, uno si no conoce la expresión, uno llega a escuchar learn by heart. My God, learn by heart. Por corazón, ¿qué será eso, cierto? A ver, si uno ya conoce la expresión y si tiene un vocabulario amplio de ese tipo de expresiones, entonces las utiliza en su diario vivir, en su diario hablar, y cuando las escuche las va a entender, ¿no? It's very important to know these type of expression, slang or useful expression in their daily life. So, guys, that's all for today. We have finished. It's 4 o'clock. And see you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday at 3 p.m. We are going to try to have these lessons all Wednesday at 3 p.m. From 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, it's 1 hour, no more. And if you want something or anything, you can write to me by internal email. Okay, so it was a pleasure to me share with you, talk to you, and see you next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Okay, guys, bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye bye,
teacher.
teacher.
Bye-bye.